everyone. This is my favorite time of the year. We've just had our first snowfall and it has got me right into the Christmas spirit. Every year for Christmas, my family gathers together and we enjoy a festive meal. I'm going to show you how I make my crusted rack of lamb, which is my go-to dish. It's really easy and a crowd pleaser. I'm also going to show you how I plate it with the most adorable Duchess potatoes, pan-seared asparagus, oven-roasted cherry tomatoes, and most of all is the wonderful wine reduction. Now, let me show you how we prepare this. Let's start with the cherry tomatoes because these babies need to be put in the oven for 90 minutes. You can use grape tomatoes if you like, but I got cherry tomatoes at my supermarket. You got to cut them into half and then we're going to toss them into the bowl. We've really got to season these well because we want all flavors to incorporate. Now we're going to add some salt. You can put salt to taste. I've used about 1 teaspoon of salt. I've used the Himalayan pink salt. And now I'm going to put some freshly ground black pepper. About half teaspoon should be good. And we're going to season this now with some herbs. Any herb of your flavor. I've used oregano, around 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, around half to 1 teaspoon of sugar. The sugar is going to help caramelize the tomatoes and also cut the tartness. Now I'm going to put some garlic. I'm going to use 3 cloves of garlic and cut them fine. I really like the flavor of garlic, so I'm going to put 3 cloves. You can put garlic as per your taste. And we're going to add this to the tomato mix. Now we're going to put some olive oil, a good drizzle of olive oil, and mix the tomatoes up well so that all the flavors get well incorporated. Now we're going to have to put this onto a baking sheet so to bake it, and I've lined the baking sheet with parchment paper. Make sure that when you put it on the baking sheet, they're in a single layer and cut side up. We're going to now put this in the oven for 90 minutes. I've used my oven toaster because I needed the bigger oven to do the rack of lamb and the potatoes. Now we're going to start with the Duchess potatoes. These potatoes add a lovely French touch to the traditional mashed potatoes. Take 1 kilogram of yellow flesh or Yukon Gold potatoes. You want a nice natural yellow color from the potatoes. Peel and chop the potatoes, roughly 4 bits of each potato, and place them in a pot to boil them. We're going to add water to come just above the level of the potatoes, and now add salt to the potatoes. You can even add salt later, but I prefer adding it now because the potatoes tend to absorb it better. Place it on a stove to cook, medium heat, and cook till the potatoes allow a fork or a knife to go through. Drain the potatoes of the water and preheat your oven to 450 degrees. Now we're going to mash the potatoes in a potato ricer as we need the potatoes to be really smooth. Once we're finished mashing the potatoes, we're going to add 3 egg yolks. The egg yolks are going to enhance the yellow color and also give it a lovely rich taste. After all, these are Duchess potatoes. Now we're going to add some herbs. I've chosen to use chives because I want that nice green color. We want to get a lovely Christmassy look to our Duchess potatoes. I've cut the chives really fine because I need them to come out of a piping nozzle. Now we're going to add some red color. It's all about the Christmas colors. I'm going to put one chili. I'm going to de-seed it. I don't really want the spice, but I want the brightness of the color. And cut this really fine. As I said earlier, we need this to come out of a nozzle. Now we're going to add some nutmeg, around 1/4 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. And of course Parmesan cheese, which is going to really make it nice and tasty. 1/4 cup should be really great. And 80 grams of butter. This has all the goodness in it. Give it a good mix to ensure that all the flavors get well incorporated. Now we're going to pipe it. Take a piping bag, cut off the tip so we can insert the nozzle. I've used a big star tip nozzle. And now I'm going to fold the top and fill it with the potato mix. I would suggest piping these onto a non-stick baking sheet or a pre-greased baking sheet, but not on a parchment paper because the potato is not going to sit on the parchment paper. Now we're going to pipe it out in a circular motion like we do in a cupcake and about 2 inches in width, ending up in a lovely peak. We're going to place this now in our preheated oven. You're going to get about 12 of these Duchess potatoes. We're going to bake them for about 20 minutes until they are nice and golden brown on the edges. With the oven already preheated at 450 degrees, we are now going to prepare the rack of lamb. I'm going to prepare the breadcrumb mix first, and I've taken 1/2 cup of fresh breadcrumbs. To that I've added 1/2 cup of Panko breadcrumbs and 1/4 cup of fresh grated Parmesan cheese. I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of salt and some freshly ground black pepper. Now I'm going to add rosemary, about 2 tablespoons. You can add any herb that you like. You can even put thyme or parsley, or a combination of all would also work well. I'm now going to add some garlic. I've taken about 4 cloves of garlic and going to finely chop it. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of it to the mixture. You can totally put in as much as you like, but I really like the flavor of garlic, so I'm going with 2 tablespoons. We're going to drizzle this now with some olive oil. The oil is going to help to make the mixture more moist, and we're going to mix it well so that the oil gets absorbed by all the breadcrumbs. I'm now going to score the rack of lamb mainly on the fat portion. I'm going to do this in a diagonal manner. This is going to help the flavor to really get absorbed well into the meat. I'm using the Australian rack of lamb, which I got from my local butcher. I'm going to season it now generously with salt and freshly ground pepper. We're going to pat this in so that the flavor really gets into the meat. Turn it over and repeat the process. Now we're going to put this in a preheated skillet with some little olive oil in it, and we're going to sear the rack of lamb. We're going to ensure that we sear it well. We need some really good color. More color means more flavor, and the searing is going to help to lock in the flavor and the juices. Take your time to do this because this is really crucial. To the warm rack of lamb, we are now going to put some Dijon mustard on it on all sides. The Dijon mustard is going to get absorbed by the meat and also is going to help to make the breadcrumbs stick to the rack of lamb. Empty the breadcrumbs onto your plate and cover the rack of lamb with the breadcrumbs. Make sure that you get every nook and cranny. We really want a lovely crusted rack of lamb. We are now going to cover the bones with a foil. We are doing this so that the bones do not burn while the rack of lamb cooks in the oven. We are now going to place it in a baking tray. You can even place it in an oven-proof skillet. We are going to put it in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes, depending upon the degree of doneness that you like. I placed it for 18 minutes. Once it is taken out, let it rest for about 10 minutes and cover the rack of lamb. Now we're going to carve it. You can carve it between the ribs. You can cut either between each rib or after every other rib, depending upon the way you like it. We're going to keep our skillet on the stove to heat while we cut off the ends of the asparagus. You do not really want to eat this portion, it's very chewy. Now we're going to place the asparagus in the heated skillet in a single layer so that every one of them touches the base of the skillet. Without any oil, we're going to now salt it and allow it to blister for about 2 minutes. We're going to add some oil now. And some finely chopped garlic. I've used about 2 cloves of garlic here. Saute it well. Now cover it and cook it for just a minute more. And there it's done. We're going to take it off the heat. Now we're going to prepare our red wine reduction. Pour about half a bottle of red wine into a skillet and let it reduce. Then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter and stir it in well. If you find that it has become a bit too thick, you can always add a little more wine. And there you have it. The red wine reduction is done. How easy was that? Now let's plate this. We're going to take the red wine reduction and drizzle it in a circular motion. You can really do as many rounds as you like. We're going to place some of the Duchess potatoes now in the plate. I now place the lamb alongside, and actually you can just play around with this. I landed up putting another Duchess potato so that I could raise the lamb up. I just prefer the look of it that way. I placed the asparagus on the other end. And put some of the cherry tomatoes right on the top. I placed some Dijon mustard and wine reduction to the side in case one wants some more. And there you have it. Enjoy! Hey guys, I really hope you give this recipe a try for your holiday meal. Do leave me comments below and let me know how you and your family enjoyed the meal. Also follow me on my Facebook and Instagram page at Plating It with Wendy. I would really appreciate if you could give this recipe a thumbs up and hit on the subscribe button so that every time I upload a new recipe, you will get a notification. Thanks for watching. See you soon.